Hello and welcome to 52 Cakes. My name is Alexi and this is where I bake a variety of goodies in a tiny kitchen that basically just constitutes one functioning hob and about a square foot of work surface. Now today we're making breakfast cookies that basically constitutes like a normal cookie, but we've got some Brazil nuts, some raisins and some coconut all mixed in there as well. Make it a bit more morning ready with a little less sugar than you normally would put in. So the first thing you want to do is add 115 grams or 4 ounces of Brazil nuts, 85 grams or 3 ounces of icing sugar, and 100 grams or 4 ounces of flour to a food processor and pulse to combine. Now if you don't have a food processor, don't worry, at the end of the video I'll mention how I have attempted making this recipe without one just to see how it works. We then want to move it to a bowl, add a half teaspoon of baking powder, 85 grams or 3 ounces of sultanas, 25 grams or an ounce of desiccated coconut, and 2 egg whites. We then want to mix with a spoon or a spatula to combine, and then once it starts to bind together we want to mix thoroughly by hand. There's no other way I found. No matter what I do, at the end of the day you do need to get your hands dirty. Just sort of knead it together until it binds together and stops sticking to you as much and mostly sticks to itself. Then once we've done that, we want to get a lined baking sheet and divide our dough into 6 to 8 pieces. You want to roll each piece into a ball and then press each one lightly into a round onto your baking sheet. And then you want to bake for 15 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius, 350 degrees Fahrenheit, or gas mark 4. So there you have it. These are delicious. They're great pick-me-up in the morning, especially if you don't have time to make some toast or a bowl of cereal, whatever you make, maybe some fruit and yogurt. These are really good if you're in a rush in the morning, or you just want something simple. You don't want to have to put any effort into making yourself breakfast. Anyway, I mentioned at the beginning of the video how I do this without a food processor. You might have guessed, it's essentially just chop up the nuts. The Brazil nuts, you just want to get them on a chopping board and just go to town on them with a very sharp knife. Make sure you've got as sharp as you can and just cut them up until they're really small pieces, as finely diced as you can make them. Then you just mix them in a bowl with the icing sugar and flour. Just keep the same ingredients and then continue with the recipe. Now, when you're mixing by hand, you might find it doesn't quite bind together, it doesn't quite absorb. You might want to add another couple tablespoons of flour and a couple tablespoons of water. If it doesn't bind together, that's what I found is the best way to get it to start to bind. But beyond that, it basically gives you the same recipe without a food processor. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. I get these out whenever I get them done. And yeah, stay happy, stay healthy, but most importantly, stay baking.